Keith. I'm the founder of Eightfold Technologies. Eightfold Technologies is a company that develops products for the disabled community. All of our products are developed with one goal in mind, that is to help people like me to be able to do more things for ourselves, give us more independence, and reduce the amount of money we spend on hiring caregivers to help us with daily living. The product I'd like to tell you about today is called the SmartChair Remote. The SmartChair Remote is a third-party add-on that can be retrofitted to any existing power wheelchair, and it turns that power wheelchair into a smart device that can be controlled by a smartphone or a tablet. On my power wheelchair, there is a SmartChair Remote installed. I'd like to do a little demo to show you how it works. On my phone, there's a SmartChair Remote app. When I open the app, it shows me that my chair is ready to be paired. I tap on the little tab that says SmartChair Key, and the app will establish a Bluetooth link between my phone and my power chair. At this point, I can take over the control of my chair with my phone and drive it around with a virtual joystick interface. Like this. As you can see, the app interface is quite simple. It's just a virtual joystick surrounded by 4 directional arrows. The directional arrows comes in handy when I load in and out of wheelchair accessible vans because it allows me finer control. So why would somebody like me purchase the SmartChair Remote? What would I use the SmartChair Remote for? To answer that question, I need to tell you a little bit about myself and how I started working on the SmartChair Remote in the first place. 10 years ago, I was struck by an SUV coming up the sidewalk while waiting for a bus. The accident left me paralyzed waist down, as well as losing the control of my right arm. So in an instant, I went from somebody who's totally healthy and independent to someone who relies on others for almost everything. Over the years, I managed to regain some of the independence that I lost due to the accident. A big part of my independence today is thanks to my power wheelchair. But the power wheelchair can also be a source of constant frustration, because there are things that I simply cannot do in the power wheelchair. For example, I can't take a shower in my power wheelchair. So every morning, I need the help of a caregiver to move my power wheelchair out of the way so I can independently transfer onto my shower chair to get to my bathroom to do my morning routine. And when I'm done, once again, I need the help of my caregiver to move the power chair back to me so I can get onto it and get on with my day. But my caregiver isn't always around to move the power chair back to me when I need it, because in my case, my caregiver is my wife, and she's often busy dropping our daughter off at school. If school drop-off is delayed for whatever reason, traffic or otherwise, it means that I get stuck in bed all dressed, nowhere to go, even though my power chair is just a few feet away from me. As you can imagine, situations like that can be extremely frustrating. Not only frustrating, they often leave me feeling very helpless and feeling sorry about my disability and the fact that I depend on others for very simple everyday things. And it is during one of those times when I was stuck in bed feeling helpless and sorry for myself that 2 thoughts occurred to me. One, wouldn't it be nice if I was Luke Skywalker and I can use the Force to move the chair to me? And I tried, it didn't work. The second thought is that, well, I might not be Luke Skywalker, but I am an engineer. I should be able to invent something to help others and myself to solve this problem. And that is how I started working on the SmartChair platform. 2 years and thousands of engineering hours later, we have a finished product. With the SmartChair Remote, I no longer need the help of a caregiver to help me get ready in the morning. I no longer have to deal with episodes of feeling helpless and sorry for myself. And it is also good for my pocketbook, because I no longer need to hire a caregiver to come in to help me get ready at times when my wife is on vacation or when she's taking our daughter for out-of-town swim meets. The SmartChair platform also comes in handy in other situations. For example, when I want to watch TV on the couch, I can use my smartphone to move the power chair out of the way so it doesn't block my vision. It's also a great hit at the dentist's office. Instead of sitting on my dentist chair, watching the dental assistant struggling to move my power chair out of the way, bumping into furniture's doorways and sometimes running over her own foot, I can now use my smartphone to move the chair away for her and makes everybody happy. In fact, I can give you numerous other examples how the SmartChair Remote helps a person in a power wheelchair. And the number of examples only grows every time we meet with an occupational therapist who works with people in power wheelchairs. So we're confident and grows more confident every day that the SmartChair Remote is a product that can truly change the lives of people in power wheelchair. The SmartChair Remote is also a product that pays for itself. For example, if I were to hire somebody in to help me get ready in the morning, it will cost me on average $30 an hour for a minimum of 3 hours, regardless of amount of attendant care that I actually require. You can imagine the cost really adds up as you hire people in. For someone who doesn't have a loved one to do attendant care for them, their yearly attendant care costs could run well into the tens of thousands of dollars. So the SmartChair Remote pays for itself in a relatively short amount of time. In Canada, the attendant care cost for a disabled person like me is often subsidized directly or indirectly by the government. So the SmartChair Remote is also a tool that will save the government and taxpayer money by reduce the amount of money they spend to subsidize people's attendant care. So how do we make a business, a profitable, sustainable business, producing and selling SmartChair Remote? According to the Ontario Assistive Device Program, every year the government subsidized the purchase of 4,000 power wheelchairs in this province alone. In North America, we estimate there are well over 100,000 power wheelchairs that gets purchased every year. At the unit cost of $3,500 per installation, even if we just capture 10% of that market, it will make SmartChair Remote a $35 million a year business. Of course, we're still a startup. We're nowhere close to generating $35 million of revenue every year. But we have taken some very important first steps. First, we have been taking SmartChair Remote to show our product at places such as hospitals, public rehab places, private clinics, and everywhere we go, the reception has been overwhelmingly positive from occupational therapists and potential clients who use this power wheelchair. The question usually is, this is great, how much is it, when can we buy it? The other step we have taken is that in the last 3 months, we have formed a strategic partnership with an Ottawa-based company called the Track Group. The Track Group is a company that offers rehabilitation management and consulting services for people who are newly injured and dealing with disability for the first time. In fact, I was a client of Track right after my accident. By working with the healthcare professionals at Track, we have identified a group of their clients to be our first customers. Because we know the people at Track and their clients are local to where we are, we can ensure our first customers will have a positive experience after they purchase our product. We can make sure that we get the installation right and make sure that they're happy with what they're getting. As you can see, we're well on our way to become a self-sustaining, revenue-generating company. We realize there's still lots of obstacles and challenges ahead of us, and we're more than happy to meet these challenges head-on, because in our hearts, we truly believe the SmartChair Remote is a product that could change the lives of everyone who uses a power wheelchair by giving them more independence and reduce the cost of their daily living. And for me personally, if we can do all of that and at the same time make the person in the power wheelchair feel a little less disabled and a little bit more like Luke Skywalker, that's even better. Thank you.